the best Xbox exclusive for 2024. Where are we? I'm going to hand this. Oh, God, I think it was you, Bully. I'm bloody grasping.
Hellblade 2.
Hellblade 2.
Thank you very much. One of you boys take it because I only put in 10 minutes and couldn't stand the whinging.
Yeah, I put in a little bit longer than that. I reckon I put in maybe 5-6 hours into this one. Probably might be less, though, because I think the game only goes for about that long. But strikingly beautiful game. It only runs at 30 frames per second, but it doesn't really matter for the type of game it is. I think it's more of an audio visual experience than it is actually a game, and I think that's where this game let itself down for me. I think from the first game, I really enjoyed that game. I think it was an amazing experience, and it's not an amazing experience and game. There was more game in the first one. I think this one, they've kind of pared back that stuff, and I kind of wanted to see him go the other way. I kind of wanted to see this sort of explore more of a gameplay, maybe go more God of War and give us more of that, but I know that's not what the experience they were going for, but I think it was a detriment to them, and I think detriment to the sales of the game, detriment to how it was received by critics as well. I think everyone can see that, you know, they've put a lot of love and effort into this game. Like, you play it, you can't not see the effort put in. Like, it is a beautiful game. Like, if you have your headset on, the 3D audio is insane with the way they've got where Senua's like voice coming through, the different voices, and all that stuff's really good. But I think the puzzles kind of fall flat. They're a bit confusing without being fun. I found. But yeah, that's all I can really say about it. Is I think it fell flat, and for something that was on Game Pass, supposed to be the big first killer app for Xbox on Game Pass this year, I just think it just didn't do what they wanted it to do, and it's a bit of a shame because I think it could have, if they'd done sort of something else with it, and maybe sort of looked outside the box of what they wanted to do as opposed to what, you know, people actually want to play. Most people, when they want to play a game, want to play a game. They don't want to, you know, watch a movie and occasionally touch the sticks. So no, that's probably my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Unkie. Bully, did you put much time into Hellblade 2?
No, I didn't, because I being on the trophy hunt that I was on, I actually got a physical copy of the original Hellblade on PlayStation. I've been working my way through the platinum on that one. So although I think the annoying part is that it's only, I know it's an Xbox developed game, which I don't think it's going to end up on PlayStation in the end. So once I do finish, if it never ends up coming out, I think I might have to end up jumping on the Xbox version just to see the remainder of the story. But I agree with the Unkie. I don't think it was, probably from what I've seen, the lack of gameplay and the shortness of the game is overly detrimental to the experience, in my opinion, and it's probably cost them being able to make a third game. I know the first one was really well received in terms of the visuals and the iconography, especially when you're talking about the audio aspect of it as it relates to the mental health journey of the protagonist and that sort of stuff. And I think they've lent far too heavily into that for the sequel, as opposed to what makes a game is, you know, if you're going to go down that route, you may as well just make it a movie and throw some headphones on and listen to the noise while you're watching the movie. That's probably a better way to go. But if you're going to make a game, you've got to make a game. There's got to be some decent gameplay that goes with it.
And so they might be wondering why this is on the top Xbox game list, because we're doing Xbox exclusives, and this is one of the only 4 exclusives I think that came out all year. So we know Xbox, they're coming. Next year's the year. It's always next year, but next year is looking much better this year. So hopefully by the end of next year, we've got a few more Xbox games to chuck on the best Xbox games list.
Sorry, guys. I've just had my phone explode on me. Game 2, please.
Game 2 is Stalker 2. So this one, I'd sort of been keeping a little bit of an eye on, being a fan of first-person shooters and Fallout and all that kind of stuff. I know you guys spoke about it a couple of weeks ago when I wasn't on the show, which is a shame because I reckon I've put in the most hours out of everyone on this game, and I am absolutely in love with it. I was very low on it right at the start, maybe I wasn't the show. I can't remember anymore. Time's a flat circle. So I started off the game at the start and I was like, a little bit janky. It's, you know, a bit slow. It's just sending me on fetch quests and stuff. But after you get through that initial part, which I think most games should probably lead with the good bits and not start off so slow, because, you know, you almost get people to turn off their game, and that's not what you want. But no, I did push through because I'd seen some good things, and they've released a lot of patches now since the game's been out, and the game's running a hell of a lot better than it was in that first state. And This game, it's just the atmosphere is thick as like getting in this game, you just feel in the world because you are walking everywhere. There's no fast travel, although I mean there kind of is once you meet certain characters that you can pay money to take you between main towns, which is kind of cool. But I mean, I think I find the joy in going from A to B because there is all this stuff to find and see, and it is an adventure game. You are sort of what's in this hut over here, and you go over there, or you might get attacked by an enemy, and it's that slow grind. It does kind of feel like a survival game, but because you're slowly getting better guns, you're slowly unlocking better ammunition and stuff for those guns as well. And once you realize that every gun that's dropped on enemy, you can take the ammo out of that gun, and that becomes your ammo as well. There's just all this stuff there in that game that I think just builds upon itself the more you play it. There's like the supernatural stuff with the abilities you can kind of get yourself by hunting down these orbs. The characters are really good. I think they're well written. Apparently, if you play it in the native tongue, I think it's Russian, then it's as good as it is English. I mean, I'm always going to play the English voiceovers, but I've been really happy with the English voiceovers anyway. But just the story and the intrigue in this game and the stuff it's getting you doing, the sound effects are really good from the guns as well. It feels really meaty to fire off a gunshot. And once you sort of start building that character up, you do get that power fantasy where you do go from feeling like vulnerable in this world to starting to feel like you're taking over. And then it might ebb and flow, and something changes, and you drop down a bit, and all of a sudden you do feel like you're being hunted, and then you work your way up again. I just think I've found the fun in that, and it's giving me all the Fallout vibes that we haven't had for a while with the new Fallout. So no, I'm absolutely loving this game, and this is one of the reasons I've been turning my Xbox on over the last month.
Fair enough, man. I fired it up after it first came out. You were on the show. You sung its praises. I turned it on that night and just turned it off, deleted it immediately. A week later, I went back and reinstalled it after, I believe, 2 patches, and that really made it a lot better. So I hear where you're coming from, but the flood of games at the minute and my lack of time, I haven't had a chance to go back with it. I hear what you're saying, and I can appreciate the appeal, though. Unkie, Bully, any points from you on Stalker 2?
No, I haven't got much for you. I still haven't gone hands on with it. It's it's going to be a recurring theme through this is the trophy hunting sucks me to one platform, and despite the fact that I've been paying for Game Pass for the last 12 months, I really haven't got much value out of it, to be honest.
That's what sucks. I would love to see this game on the Pro. I reckon it would sing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, let's whip on into nominee 3, Unkie. It's over
Nominee
to you,
number
son.
3. We're back to indie. We spoke about it earlier at the start of the show. This is, I think, Xbox's killer app. I think this is the start of the domino starting to fall. This is what everyone's got Game Pass for. This is what Xbox we've been talking about having their exclusive to their console, although this is now coming to PlayStation anyway, which is a bit weird. But if I like the game by the end of it as much as I do, I will probably pick this up again and play it through for trophies on the PlayStation 5. And so far, if it's at where I'm at now with it, that is most likely going to happen anyway. But no, this is definitely Xbox's killer app this year. Easily by far, before we even get to game number 4, this is probably my favorite game without even finishing it for this year on Xbox. And I think it's the crowning jewel for Xbox for 2024.
Indeed, they finally stuck the landing on one. Tip of the cap. Bully, any additional points on nominee 3 here, or shall we do the big reveal of nominee 4?
No, other than what we've already discussed at the top of the show. Yeah.
Fair, mate. Fair. All right, nominee 4, Flight Sim 24, massive install. I installed it only to find out that I've got the flight stick, as you know, but it's for the PlayStation. And what was it? I think it was April this year. Xbox, nerfed the Xbox Series X and S to not accept the USB dongles to allow me to use my PlayStation controls on the Xbox. So I was devastated. I downloaded Flight Simulator, but had no flight stick to play it with. So no thanks, hard pass. Just because of their firmware update, and they did it for money, and I'm not impressed at all with that move. Unkie, have you gone wings on?
Oh, I've gone sticks on with this one. I installed it as well. I was just more fascinated to see how this whole, world thing worked where, the people tell you can fly over your own house and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to install this and see if I can do that. So install it, and you can literally pick anywhere on the world and zoom in onto it, and you can literally just spawn an airplane right there. And I zoomed in over the top of my house and started flying over, Chatson's shopping center as well, and flew over my house. Couldn't really see my house because it was, I don't know how the satellite works, but it looked like it was before my house was built here. And it was,
I've seen photos of your house. I'd be surprised if you couldn't see it from outer space.
the Unkie Palace. No, it's really impressive though. The tech they got, like I flew in over the MCG and through Melbourne City, and it was really well done. And I know now you can land on the ground and you walk around on foot as well if you really want to do that. But just picked. My son was with me and I go, Dad, can you fly over Japan and see if we can find Universal Studios where we went to last year? So did that, found out on the map where it didn't zoom right in there, fly over Universal Studios. Like the tech in there is really cool. I can only imagine what this thing looks like on a high-end PC running like, way more than an Xbox. But because I think this thing's only running at 30 frames per second, which would have to, given the amount of data going through there when you're flying. But I did one of the small missions where you fly as a fighter jet through the mountains, very reminiscent of Top Gun. That was kind of fun as well. So I can see for people who are air enthusiasts, and I definitely am one of those ever since I saw Top Gun the first time when I was a wee child, really sucking, like, I was just sucking down this game. It's almost as close as Bully's getting to that mic. Oh, bringing back the OnlyFans again from a few weeks. No, I can see this game. Like, I can see how good this game is. Like, this is a killer app for Xbox and Microsoft. I think it's a very good product if you're into this type of thing. As I said, I've only picked it up once, but I can see how good it is. It's just another, bow or string in their bow just to attach to Microsoft. And I think this is one of those ones they can just build on as well. And it's only going to get better and better as they add more things to it and do more collaborations. I know they did a Dune collaboration earlier in this year as well. You could fly the helicopter things from Dune and all that kind of stuff. And, I don't know if in the past they've done Halo stuff, I think, as well, if my memory serves me correctly, where you can fly the Pelican and stuff in it. So if they bring all that kind of stuff into it and bring Xbox franchise into it, I can see a lot of people drawing themselves to this. But yeah, as I said, massive install and a little bit of fun.
Yeah, I want to see this on PlayStation, the PSVR 2 headset there, and my flight stick will be working. It'd be a dream come true, but it isn't for me currently. I think, is it unanimous consent? Xbox's best exclusive this year, Indiana Jones?
Yeah, got to go indie.
I think given the lack of Xbox exposure I've had this year, I'll defer my vote over to Sean Games, who did jump into the chat and tell me that he has already finished through Indiana Jones. He's completed the game 100% the way through, and it is his game of the year. So I'll defer to him and give my vote for the Xbox game of the year.
Hashtag Real Gamer Sean Games. Top work, mate. Oh, that was luck. Hey, that's something. Oh! Old Uncle Dunkie. Unkie Dunkie.